I'm in the kitchen with James Porter from Petite Maison. I entertain you, I understand.
You sure do.
At me. We just made some fantastic wild mushroom risotto, and now we wanted to move on to something else that's basically, it looks like a French fish like soup or something.
Well, in California they call it cioppino, and in some it's seafood stew, and in the French version is bouillabaisse.
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 Very, very simple preparation. You can use a variety of different fish and shellfish, but it's really easy preparation.
Okay.
So,
okay,
here we go. On that note, we're going to start cutting.
I'm sorry, I couldn't save you on that one.
That's okay.
I didn't really know where to go with that.
That's all right. So we've got a nice warm pan, and we're going to julienne a little bit of fennel, and the dish works out really well.
Is that the licorice smelling one?
This is licorice. Smell this.
Yeah.
It smells really good, right? So we're going to get a little bit of the fennel going in the pan. Then we've got our friendly leeks. If you've never had a leek before, it's part of the onion or the garlic family.
I made some baby food with that. You want the recipe?
Yeah. All right, we'll pass on that one.
He didn't really know what to say with that one either.
No, you're really throwing them out. So when you do leeks, one of the tricks is leave the butt end of it on there, so you can hold it. And they usually contain dirt, so rinse it in your sink, swish it around, dry it off, and then use it so you don't have any of the grittiness in there. So we're going to add a little bit of this in here. And again, if you don't like leeks and you wanted to use onions, you could use onions. You could use a multitude of things. And it's really just going to give some nice aromats in there. Then we're going to take some bay leaves, also known as laurel leaves. Smell these.
Now, I only use them when they're dried in the little
And that is the difference of cooking with fresh ingredients and dried ingredients. And
it's going to be much
more. It totally makes a difference.
Okay.
You don't necessarily want to pick them right off the tree because they do say that once they dry, once you pick them, that they do need about a week to actually intensify the flavors.
Okay.
So we take it and we're just going to kind of smush it a little bit.
Do you take that little stem
thing?
thing?
No, throw it all in there.
Sorry.
You don't want to break the whole thing. Throw it in the pan, okay?
And was breaking it just to kind of like release a lot of the goodness?
Release a lot of the oils in it.
Okay.
So then we're going to take a little bit of fresh thyme. Smells really good, all right? And we're going to add that in, and then we're going to add a little bit of white wine.
Now, because this is going to be such a kind of a major component of this particular dish as opposed to something that we may just kind of sweat off some shallots in, do you have a preference of what type of white wine that would make sense?
Well, preferably any white wine that you're currently drinking at the time usually works. So, you know, granted it's a little early in the morning, but I would usually be drinking a little white wine, a little in the soup, you know,
and I mean, all kidding aside, because there's a couple jokes in there too. But it would be something that you would serve with the dish. Or not necessarily?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
I mean, you don't have to have wine with any of the components. It does enhance them. It does make them better.
But you could matchy the wines, is what I'm saying.
Yes, yeah, you definitely could. And you could, if you don't want wine or you don't want the alcohol in here, you could omit that. It's not that big of a deal.
Okay.
So we're going to let that cook. We've also got some fish stock.
Okay.
A lot of people try to make fish stock at home. It's really, really easy. Go to your butcher at the grocery store, at the seafood counter, and tell them you need some white fish bones.
White fish bones.
Get about a pound of them, stick them in a pot, fill it with water, boil it for 30 minutes, strain everything off, and you have instantaneous fish stock.
Okay.
Very simple.
Walk us through here in the next 30 seconds where this would go, and then I'm going to have you continue the process, and we'll gather back up together.
Perfect. So we're going to add we're going to sweat these down, get all the flavor and the aromats really breathing out of it. Then we're going to start to add our seafood. We've got some barramundi, we've got some diver scallops, some black mussels, some shrimp. We're going to add that in there, add a little of the stock in there, and let it simmer until the mussels open, the seafood cooks. Then we're going to finish it with a little bit of butter, chives and parsley, and a little bit of tomato.
Okay, so I'm going to let you do that because that's a process right there, and we don't want to cheat. You know,
we don't want to cheat anybody.
We don't want to cheat anybody. Good things take a little time, so we're going to let you have that time, and then we're going to be back in about 20 minutes.